I am not sure where to start, so let's just power through it. Some of you might remember my theater album. Well, I've been kinda busy since then. Last summer I produced the music for a play called Madicken. I grew up with this story, so I was happy to help. It was also the biggest project I've ever done. Sure, I've done plays before, but not a full musical. But it sounded something like this. I learned a lot during this project. So in a way I felt like I wanted another shot. Well, what do you know, fast forward till this summer and the same theater contacted me again and asked me to produce the music for The Jungle Book, and it sounded something like this. This time was just as fun and I also learned a lot. Let's move on. I love directing, so I applied for a directing program in Sweden. And when they called me and told me I got the place, I was like, well, I guess I'll be moving to Sweden. The program was very intense and just packed with experiences. But in short, we performed a new piece about every 3 weeks. We got to try out many different genres of theater. Old and new. We got to try out many different writers like Shakespeare, Churchill, Brecht, Weiss, and many more. I got to try out so many ideas I always wanted to do. Like paint, light, water, shadow play, and more. As my final exams, I directed a play loosely based on George A. Romero's movie Night of the Living Dead, called Nights of the Living. Obviously, there's way too much to unpack here, but in short, I learned a lot about the role of the director, but also about leadership in general. And I cannot emphasize how satisfying this whole thing was. Let's move on! Thirdly, there was another thing. I was already working on the music for The Jungle Book, but also my final exams for the directing program, when I saw something interesting on the internet. A summer theater in Finland was gonna do The Three Musketeers. And I thought, there's some potential for some sword fighting here. So I sent them an email thinking, hey, maybe I can get a part as an extra or something. And they answered me and said, yes, but you have to audition. And I answered, of course, but I live in Sweden. And they told me to send them some videos of me acting, singing, and maybe doing some sword fighting stuff. And just a couple of weeks later, they called me and told me I got the main part as D'Artagnan. And I was like, but I live in Sweden! To be honest, I almost passed out when I heard that. I had no idea how to work this out along with everything else, also living in another country. But I calmed myself, I got the script, and I read it, and I decided just to practice a little bit now and then, while doing everything else, of course. Not gonna lie, all of this was very exhausting. Until I realized that the most exhausting part about it was me stressing about it. So in May, with less than 2 months left, I moved back to Finland and started rehearsing. Looking back, I wish I could have been more present at the rehearsals, because this is probably the most intense part I've ever done. With singing, dancing, sword fighting, acting of course, and so much else. I've prepared this little behind the scenes video from one of the shows. I hope you enjoy it. Alright, it's an hour before I need to go. I'm gonna do some stretching. Okay, so it's been 6 days since the last show, so let's hope we remember everything. I'm gonna eat something and then pick up some actors, and then we're gonna go. So we just arrived at the stage. It's raining quite a lot, but according to the weather reports, it's gonna stop. So let's hope for the best. So this is the stage. That's the audience. Stage. So, I'm all changed up, 40 minutes to showtime. Gotta go through a couple of things still, see that everything is in the right place and stuff like that. 8 minutes until showtime. Unfortunately, there's no phone and no camera policy backstage or on stage, so I'll get back to you after the first act. So, first act done. It went pretty good. We're having a little coffee break now and preparing for Act 2. It's gonna be exciting. I got a cut here on my chin. I am very dirty. And I got a cut here by a sword. What are you gonna do? Second act went alright, but the crowd was awesome today. Now clean and then home. So this was my day. I am very tired and very hungry, so I'm gonna eat something and then go to bed, and then there's another show tomorrow. Bye. This whole year has been unreal. It's crazy when I think about how much it contained. When I look back at all the productions I've been a part of and think about all the people I met and worked with, it's just insane to me. I recently found this old cassette tape of me in 6th grade performing our Christmas play. If I somehow would have been able to talk to that younger version of myself and somehow tell him that he will be a part of all this fun stuff, I don't think I would have believed myself. So in the end, I can't be anything else than thankful. Anyway, this is who I am, this is who I've been this year, and thank you for listening to my stories on Theatre Time. Bye.